Hi there. I'm Charlie Ross. I was born and raised in Wichita, Kansas, and I can remember hearing of bad thunderstorms and tornadoes every year all across our state. Tornadoes and lightning scare me to death. Fact is, Kansas averages about 80 tornadoes per year, based on a study from 1980 to 2010. I can tell you, I've never seen a tornado, and I don't think I ever want to. Then a few years ago, my family moved to Madison, Wisconsin. I understand that Wisconsin only averages 23 tornadoes per year, compared to Kansas which averages 80 tornadoes per year. That's a lot of tornadoes. But Kansas is in what is known as Tornado Alley. Wisconsin lies on the northern edge of Tornado Alley. This is a video about severe weather safety. I'm going to share with you some good advice about being safe when severe thunderstorms, or perhaps a tornado should strike. Are you ready? Everyone knows how changeable the weather can be. 1 minute, it's sunny and warm, quiet and calm. The next minute, Mother Nature is throwing everything in the sky at you. One thing is for sure, we don't want to be caught off guard when severe weather approaches. That's how some folks ended up badly injured and killed in decades gone by when bad storms struck. Of course, our warning system was not all that fancy either. Often, warnings came too late, or were missed entirely. Today, our warning system is vastly improved, and warnings provide us with up to 13 minutes lead time, versus only 3 minutes prior to 1980. But 13 minutes is still not enough time. So we need to utilize the 13 minutes time wisely. This is where having a severe weather safety plan comes into the picture. Every home should develop and have a safe plan of action made up in advance. Creating a severe weather safety plan is easy really, as this graphic illustrates. You are at the plan stage. Assess your home completely. Which part of your home is safest? Some things you should consider include, does my home have any of the following? A basement, or crawl space beneath the building? Is there an underground storm cellar nearby? If your home does have a basement, then you need to determine which area of the basement is safest. The experts recommend under a sturdy table or workbench in the center of the basement. If no table or workbench is available, then under a staircase along a wall would be a good choice. If there is no basement but only a crawl space under your house, then that should be considered. But, what about homes without a basement or crawl space? Your next best option is an underground storm cellar, like the one shown. Cellars like this can be found all across the central and southern plains states, and many rural areas as well. I can remember taking shelter in a storm cellar while I was still living in Kansas. It was pretty spooky. So then what if your home lacks a basement, crawl space, or storm cellar? In that case, your best option is on the lowest level of the building. Head for any interior small room or hallway, such as a closet or bathroom. Try to avoid areas along the outer walls of the building. Remember, put as many walls up between you and the approaching tornado. In every instance, make sure you have a heavy blanket or even a mattress to protect you from flying debris and glass. Try to have some supplies in your shelter area, and we'll talk more about this shortly. Now, you talk about changing weather. Now a thunderstorm is moving through. We are located at my house near Madison, Wisconsin. I didn't hear if the severe thunderstorm warning is out, but I can find out real quick. One rule of thumb is, when storms move into your location, you need to cease all outdoor activities, and get inside your home or other sturdy and safe building at once. Inside, stay away from windows and doors. Don't use a telephone either during the storm. Lightning could strike the line outside. It's also smart to avoid using any electrical items like stereos, TVs, computers, radios, hair dryers, or similar devices until the storm passes by. During a thunderstorm, remain calm but alert. During the day, keep a close watch on what the storm is doing. Watch for signs of any rotation within the clouds, or any funnel cloud. If you observe any of these, or a tornado on the ground approaching, take cover at once. Don't wait for a warning to be issued. Severe thunderstorms can sometimes produce tornadoes. Wow, it's getting pretty ugly out there. Listen to those winds ramp up. Well, looks like only minor damage was done here, but I did hear reports of large trees and power lines knocked down in town. With the storm east of us, we can see some of the damage. Looks like I have some cleanup work to do, but I don't mind. I'm used to this from living in Kansas after worse storms than this. Earlier, I did mention that you should consider keeping supplies in your designated shelter area. While this is a decision you must make, it is essential to have some supplies on hand in case you need them. This checklist can show you some basic things, such as heavy blankets, sleeping bags, or even mattresses. strong durable helmets to protect your head, non-perishable food and clean water. Remember, you decide what to stock your shelter with. Being prepared is the ticket to your own personal safety. I had to learn all this stuff on the fly, because no one bothered to tell me. If an F2 or higher rated tornado were to strike, it may be days to months before you're back on your feet again, and living in another dwelling perhaps. This is what is really sad. When you live in a single house for much of your youth, as I did, you get used to living there. Then, for seemingly no reason, a tornado develops and tears up your home in seconds. Now you have nothing. You can't help but to feel for families who encounter such losses. Yup, it's all real guys. But just because it didn't happen to me, don't mean it can't happen to you. Get prepared now. Okay, so far, I've spoken about the real importance of creating a severe weather safety plan. It's very essential that you have a plan of action made up in advance. We also spoke about some basic thunderstorm safety. Now, I'd like to talk about some important terms used by the National Weather Service when forecasting severe storms. The first term here is called a severe thunderstorm watch. Do you know what this means? Believe it or not, many people still confuse this with some kind of warning. But, the truth is, this is not any kind of warning. A severe thunderstorm watch is issued to give you advance notice that conditions in the atmosphere are favorable for severe storms to develop. This gives you time to go over your severe weather safety plan with your family. Make sure everyone knows where shelter is located, and how to reach it quickly on a moment's notice. Otherwise, just go about your usual business, just as you would any other day. If you plan to be outdoors, be sure to keep an eye on the sky. Watch for cumulus clouds which tower up into the atmosphere. This may be a clue to storms developing. Also make sure to have a portable NOAA weather radio along with a tone alert feature. It will alert you of any watches or warnings issued for your area. Now you're probably wondering what people who live in a mobile home should do if severe weather, such as a tornado or high winds threaten. You know, when I was younger, we lived for many years in a mobile home, and I always felt a sense of security when bad storms hit. The good news is we never had a tornado come through. But seriously, those who live in mobile homes are in grave danger if a tornado did move into their location. Even if the trailer is tied down well and anchored in concrete footings, an F2 rated tornado could easily blow it to millions of pieces in seconds. No, it's true. Look at this damage left from a tornado. Staggers the imagination, don't it? So the best option then is to evacuate and seek shelter in a sturdier building. Make friends with people who live nearby, so that you have a safe place to go if a tornado does threaten. If all else fails, get into a ditch or ravine. Crouch down and protect your head with your hands. Equally true, you should never attempt to outrun a tornado in your vehicle, or shelter under a highway overpass as shown in these scenes. Unless you have the proper training and are familiar with the area, trying to outrun a tornado can have deadly consequences. You have no idea of how quickly the storm is traveling, and the parent thunderstorm can produce additional satellite tornadoes, right down on you. I lost a good cousin about 8 years ago while he tried outrunning a tornado. Likewise, taking shelter under a highway overpass is also foolish and dangerous. In fact, a highway overpass offers you absolutely no protection in a tornado. The winds being channeled under the bridge in a tight confinement will cause them to accelerate. If you are up in the rafters, the winds can literally blow you right out from the rafters. I'm serious, people. That's how some guys lost their lives. So if all else fails, and you have little time, then just pull over to roadside and stop. Get out of your vehicle, and get down into a ditch, or even culvert. Lie down flat and protect your head. Never shelter under a highway overpass. Earlier, I told you about what a severe thunderstorm watch is, and what it means for the people, you. Now, I'm going to talk about what a tornado watch is. A tornado watch is issued to give you advance notice that conditions in the atmosphere are favorable for severe thunderstorms and tornadoes to develop. Again, this is not any warning. This gives you time to go over your severe weather safety plan with your family. Make sure everyone knows where a shelter is located, and how to reach it quickly on a moment's notice. Otherwise, just go about your usual business, just as you would any other day. If you plan to be outdoors, be sure to keep an eye on the sky. Watch for cumulus clouds which tower up into the atmosphere. This may be a clue to storms developing. Also make sure to have a portable NOAA weather radio along with a tone alert feature. It will alert you of any watches or warnings issued for your area. While there are still some folks who give a tornado watch more attention over a severe thunderstorm watch, the truth is, both watches are just as important. That's why we have both kinds of watches. Watches make up one step in the National Weather Service's 3-step warning program. What would you do if you were in school, or a hospital or nursing home, and a tornado was approaching? Most of these places already have plans in place for the staff, students, and patients. If you're in such places, just follow the directions given, or post it on a billboard in the hallway. In the following scene, we will listen as one school braces for what appeared to be an approaching tornado. Tornadoes are nothing to mess with people. These storms can kill a person in seconds. Some of the people in this school thought it was a prank, and didn't respond at first, but when they realized what was coming, things quickly changed.
You guys, can everybody look up here? Joe? When we go this way, down the stairs, and then we line up by the superintendent's office.
Where the desk used to be, right, the front
that
desk
hallway
and
right
that
there.
hallway, that front desk,
And
we're
you
gonna line
face
up.
the wall.
Yeah,
like
face
this.
the wall, and you have to like crouch.
The reason you
Don't leave
face
your
the
stuff here.
wall is you're protecting your face and your front from any disaster.
Do we have to like,
No,
I
no,
think,
no.
you
You just have to face the wall and be quiet.
Ms. Pashos should be, if you wanna say Adrian, say
That's fine.
Attention staff and students. This is a weather alert. Please take cover. Attention staff and students. This is a weather alert. Please take cover. Attention staff and students. This is a weather alert. Please take cover. Attention staff and students. This is a weather alert. Please take cover. Attention staff and students. This is a weather alert. Please take cover.
Pretty scary stuff, hey. For those who thought it was a joke, I wonder what could be going through their minds now? As you can see, the school was leveled by a monster EF4 tornado. Everyone is just horrified and stunned right out of their skin, but so very thankful to be alive. Boy, I sure would not want to be in their shoes right now. The emotional scars and terror put into all these kids will most likely have a long-term impact on them. It's a well-known fact, tornadoes are very dangerous events, and can even be lethal. On April 9th of 2015, Clarence Schultz went up to the second floor of his home in Fairdale, Illinois. He wanted to capture what it would feel like going through a tornado on video. While this is not the smartest thing to do, it does show the fury and power a tornado has. Unfortunately, Clarence lost his wife, and a neighbor was killed in this event. What you're about to see is very graphic and dramatic in nature. Caution is advised for sensitive viewers. Recently, I visited some new friends I made up in the Portage area. They live on a 40-acre farm, so it's pretty open. I was taking a walk down the driveway, and got this footage of storms developing. Wow! Just watch as the clouds rise and form the main storm towers. This is so cool! But I was unaware that severe weather was possible that day. After I shot this, I ran back inside the house. Mark was telling us that severe weather is expected, and that we were under a tornado watch. So we sat in the living room and talked, when
The National Weather Service in Sullivan has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for western Kenosha County in southeast Wisconsin, western Racine County in southeast Wisconsin, Walworth County in southeast Wisconsin, until 6:30 p.m. At 5:38 p.m., National Weather Service Doppler radar indicated a severe thunderstorm capable of producing damaging winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. This storm was located near Lake Geneva and moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. Locations impacted include Elkhorn, Lake Geneva, Twin Lakes, East Troy, Union Grove, Wind Lake, Genoa City, Pell Lake, Powers Lake, Honors Lake, Silver Lake, Burlington Airport, Browns Lake, Potter Lake, Rochester, Eagle Lake, Waterford North, Tibbetts, Abel's Corners, and Spring Prairie. This storm has exhibited some weak rotation. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. Although one is not immediately
After hearing that warnings were now coming out, Mark had his wife and kids move into the bathroom for safe shelter since his home has no basement, crawl space, or storm cellar. We were focused on what was developing west to southwest of us. Me and Mark monitored the television, which was broadcasting severe weather information. I thought I was in real trouble now. I mean, I never went through a tornado in my entire life so far. I was scared right out of my skin. But, I knew what to do, and was ready to do it. Mark kept his cool for the most part through that ordeal.
Give me Timothy. Come here. Sit down.
Is it here?
It's close. It's close.
The National Weather Service in La Crosse has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Crawford County in southwest Wisconsin, northern Grant County in southwest Wisconsin, until 6:30 p.m. At 6:04 p.m., a confirmed tornado was located 6 miles north of Bloomington and moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Expected hazards include a damaging tornado. A tornado has been confirmed by trained weather spotters near Jellystone Campground near Bagley at 5:57 p.m. Impact: mobile homes will be heavily damaged or destroyed. Significant damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Flying debris will be deadly to people and animals. Extensive tree damage is likely. The tornado will be near Boscobel around 6:25 p.m. Other locations in the warning include Wazeeka, Mount Ida, County Roads K and T, Worley, Harris Ridge, Boydtown, Woodman, Highway 61 and County T, Maple Ridge and Easter Rock. To repeat, a tornado is on the ground. Take cover now. Move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If in a mobile home, a vehicle, or outdoors, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris.
This was it. Now we have severe storms off to the southwest of us, which are producing damaging tornadoes. It's about an hour and a half later, and storms are now moving into the area. Mark ran outside to get this footage of the storm moving through. I advised him of the dangers of doing that, but he assured me that he would be safe. But I knew Mark was in real danger. Even Jennifer, his wife, urged him not to go outside, but he just ignored her. How can Mark be so foolish? Don't he care about the risk involved? I guess not. That's how many people have gotten seriously injured and killed in years past. They took foolish gambles with their own lives, and lost. Now my new friend Mark wants to be a chance taker too. But, what could I do? Mark had his mind made up, so my hands were tied basically. If you get word of an approaching tornado, you need to act as quickly as possible. The following tips will aid you through this process. There are a couple of things you should not do. One is, don't open up the windows of your home. Studies have shown that this does nothing to equalize the pressure inside your home. The second is, don't grab your video cam and go outside to capture the oncoming storm. This is not only foolish but very dangerous. Instead, just use the time to get a shelter. Taking care of good old number one is most important. The summer months are a time for fun, family get-togethers, vacations, and other great activities. Think of the many things we can and have done during the summer over the years. But, we also know that summer has a dark side. Severe thunderstorms, tornadoes, flash floods, and lightning to name a few. Such events have destroyed our property, taken the lives of people we knew and loved so dear, and left those who survived in despair, pain, and misery. Everything they had is lost. I guess I'm one of the luckier ones. I never seen or been in a tornado before. That is, until the near miss of Mark a few years ago. The last I heard from Jennifer, his wife, was that Mark died a couple hours after being severely injured while shooting video of the storm on the porch. What a hell of a way to die. This just underscores why it's very important to get prepared now before the next storm strikes. Having been born and raised in Kansas, I know the value of safety and human life all too well. I have lost members of my family because of their foolishness and recklessness. But you don't have to let those things happen to you. You can make all the difference by creating a safe plan of action. We can't stop tornadoes from coming, but we can get out of their way. I hope you enjoyed this short video presentation, and learned a few things too. Please stay safe this summer season.